All right, we're coming up at 5:23 here, and the numbers on that side of the screen tell me that it must be time for Mac to give us a quick look at the forecast.
Yes, we have to stay our distance from each other, so I'm going, oh, it's my turn. Anyway, good morning, everybody. It's a Monday morning, and we are back to what we were back to last week, so it's not exactly a lot of change in us. For us in the weather department, at least we're not in those blazing temperatures we had last week. Remember that? We're looking at 74 right now. The Gulf air is rolling back in. Over the weekend, it was gone with that little front, got that north wind, a few drops of rain. As a matter of fact, yesterday, we got a whole 200s. Now, that's nice. I'm not going to complain, but boy, we could have used a little bit more. There is opportunity for getting more rain later this week, so let's go through it. Yesterday we were only 77, but today we're going to warm up into the 80s, and it's going to get rather humid for about a day or so. Now, yesterday's rainfall of 200s was not much, but here's why I keep talking about it. 2600s is all we've had for the month of March, and we're just about through with that. So, in other words, the entire month is about over. Today's the 30th, right? We've only had a quarter of an inch of rain. That puts us at 1.5 below for the month. That's January, February, March. Okay. For the year, since the beginning of January, we've only had 1.40, and that's the big one that concerns me because that puts us 3.5 below for the annual rainfall total. Now, spring, yes, is a more volatile month where rainfall totals go up and down, up and down. Will we get the necessary rainfall to at least stay on pace? Well, so far, not having much luck. Now, here we are in a situation. Remember last week, we were seeing all this moisture stream northward. That's why it was so hot. Well, now it's back down over Texas, and you can see a lot of moisture rolling in. Today, as the Gulf air rolls back in, it's going to get us back into the 80s, back into the humidity. And then the question is, will the frontal system coming in trigger any rain? There is an opportunity for that, and we'll be showing you in a second. But most importantly, you can see how all this moisture is now over Texas, and all that really hot, dry air, remember, it was all now it's out in the Gulf. In fact, way down into the Yucatan as well. So we do have the first ingredient for some rain. Problem is we don't need the severe weather. Unfortunately, at this time of the year, you can't separate the yolk and the egg here. We've got a possibility of heavy weather throughout the Dallas area, throughout East Texas, maybe as far south as Austin. We have a chance for some showers today. Now tomorrow, things get very interesting because a dry line blows through, and we're going to be, shall we say, going from very humid to very dry in a matter of a day. And then, you know, we've got some nice weather middle of the week. So here's our front. That's the one that's bringing back the Gulf air. Here's our dry line coming in tomorrow. And the combination of those two will make it very interesting over the next couple of days because we are looking at first the south wind today. That warms us up. Tomorrow, the northwest wind that dries us out, gets us up to 88 degrees. But it does give us the dry air, so we're looking for a nicer weather Wednesday and Thursday, but that only lasts for a day or so. Now, what you're looking at here is in Arkansas, Jonesboro, about 100 miles north of Little Rock. They had a couple tornadoes last night, and as I mentioned earlier, this is the season where the cold air is fighting the warm air. The warm air is pushing north, cold air doesn't want to give up. When those two collide, you get this severe weather, and that was an outbreak that happened over the weekend. So take a look at your 7-day because over this coming weekend, hopefully we'll have a better shot at rain, and we'll be talking more about that later on. Mike, back to you.
All right, thank you, Mac.